So the whole situation is that Earth is basically dying, and humanity is looking for a new place to live. A crew is sent on the starship Cassiopeia to check out a planet called Tau Ceti F. Their goal is to see if it's safe for everyone else to follow on another ship, the Andromeda. This mission is humanity's last shot. Right away, things get weird on the ship. Two crew members, Sims and Carter, are awake while everyone else is in hypersleep, and they hear a loud bang. They aren't too worried at first, thinking it's a minor issue. But the ship's systems start reporting a hull breach, and things get serious really fast. They consult the ship's AI, the Oracle, which tells them a meteorite has hit the ship and caused some major damage. The AI has shut down a bunch of systems to save power. To fix everything, Sims and Carter realize they have to do the repairs manually, which means they're in for a long night. We get a glimpse of the company behind this whole mission, Corinth, through what looks like an old ad. They talk about making humanity better and exploring the universe. It sets the stage for the high stakes of their mission and the pressure everyone is under to succeed for the sake of the human race. Sims and Carter have to go on a spacewalk to fix the outside of the ship. The view of space is incredible, but the situation is tense. They joke around a bit to keep their spirits up, but you can tell they're feeling the pressure. Fixing a spaceship in the middle of nowhere is no small task. While they're out there, they have a deep conversation about life and what they're doing. They talk about their families and why this mission is so important to them personally. It's a quiet moment that shows how much they've given up to be here, chasing a new future for everyone back on Earth. After they finish the repairs and go back inside, things take a dark turn. Carter can't find Sims, and when he does, she's not herself. She attacks him out of nowhere, and he's forced to run for his life. He manages to send out a distress message saying Sims has lost her mind. The story flashes back to before the mission, showing the commander, Stafford, talking with a young crew member named Young. They discuss the weight of their journey and the legacy of Young's father, who was also a famous astronaut. It's clear that Stafford feels a responsibility to look out for Young. The main flight crew, including Stafford and Young, is woken up from hypersleep. They're groggy and disoriented after being asleep for 4 years. They immediately notice that something is wrong with the ship's systems, and that the two crew members who were supposed to wake them, Sims and Carter, are missing. Stafford takes command and tries to figure out what's going on. The ship's oxygen levels are dropping, and he's getting weird communications from Sims and Carter, who claim they're busy with repairs. The crew has to prepare the ship for orbit while dealing with all the system failures. Despite the chaos, there's a sense of duty among the crew. Another crew member, Ely, takes care of a small tree in the ship's hydroponics bay, a little piece of earth they brought with them. It's a small detail that shows how much they miss home and what they're fighting for. Hi there. If you want to enjoy more gaming lore without grinding for 60 hours, hit that subscribe button. I do the grinding so you don't have to. Your support really helps the channel. Ely is suspicious of what's happening and starts looking through the ship's surveillance logs. She finds a strange recording of Sims and Carter that doesn't add up. It looks like they were scared of something, and the footage is corrupted. Ely knows something is being hidden from them. The ship finally gets close to Tau Ceti F, and the crew gets their first look at the planet that is supposed to be their new home. It's a beautiful and awe-inspiring sight, and for a moment they forget about all the problems on the ship. This is the moment they've all been waiting for. Continuing her investigation, Ely finds a hidden message from Sims. In it, Sims talks about finding different kinds of stasis fluids for the return trip, which was never mentioned in their training. She also says that the big boss, Williams, has a secret communication line suggesting a conspiracy. Suddenly, an airlock is blown open, and Ile is almost sucked out into space. She manages to survive and claims that Sims tried to kill her. This seems to confirm that Sims has gone rogue and is trying to sabotage the mission, turning her from a teammate into a dangerous threat. Another crew member, Cernan, is hiding from someone who sounds like Stafford, but is acting incredibly strange and threatening. The fear and paranoia on the ship are getting worse, as the crew starts to realize they might not be alone, and that the danger could be coming from within their own ranks. The crew finds Carter's hypersleep pod, and what's inside is horrific. His body has been brutally mutilated, confirming he was murdered. With Sims still missing and presumed to be the killer, the crew is now dealing with a murder investigation on top of all the ship's other problems. As they try to enter orbit around Tau Ceti F, the ship's engines malfunction and won't shut off. They lose control, and the Cassiopeia is sent hurtling down toward the planet's surface. They are going to crash, and all they can do is brace for impact and hope they survive the landing. The rest of the crew, including the mission's corporate head, Williams, and a science officer named Anders, are violently woken up from hypersleep by the crash. They wake up to a nightmare of warning alarms, shaking, and destruction. Their mission has turned into a fight for survival. After the crash, Stafford gathers the survivors and explains the grim situation. They are stranded on an alien planet with no way to get home. Carter is dead, and Sims is still out there, now a wanted murderer. The dream of a new home has turned into a living nightmare. With no other choice, the crew arms themselves and decides to hunt for Sims, to bring her to justice and get answers. They split up into teams to cover more of the wrecked ship. It's a tense and dangerous plan, as they have no idea what they're about to face in the dark corridors. During the search, they find Carter's personal device, which contains his final panicked message about Sims attacking him. This seems to be the final piece of evidence they need, confirming that their former crewmate is behind the murder and the sabotage. The hunt for Sims becomes even more urgent. While searching, one of the teams discovers a strange, pulsating alien substance growing inside the ship. It seems to be spreading quickly. Williams, the corporate boss, shows an unusual and intense interest in the substance, which makes some of the other crew members suspicious of his motives. Two of the crew members get cornered by a shadowy figure that isn't Sims. They are forced to navigate through the ship's cramped and dark ventilation shafts to escape. This is the first sign that there might be another, unknown threat on the ship, and that Sims might not be the only one they have to worry about. After the close call, Ely comes up with a plan to trap whatever is hunting them. She realizes they can use the ship's lockdown system to seal off sections of the maintenance tunnels, effectively creating a maze with a dead end. The goal is to corner the killer and face them on their own terms. Young and another crew member, Cooper, head into the dark and creepy maintenance tunnels to act as bait for the trap. The plan is for Ely to seal the bulkheads behind them as they move forward, forcing the killer into the final sealed-off section. It's a risky move that relies on perfect timing. As they move through the tunnels, they make a shocking discovery. They find Sims's body. She's been dead for a long time, which means she couldn't have been the one they were communicating with, or the person who tried to kill Ely. They realize they are hunting something else entirely. The real killer finally reveals itself. It's a monstrous alien creature that seems to be able to mimic sounds and possibly shapes. A fight breaks out, and in the chaos, they manage to push the creature into the ship's reactor core, destroying it. They've survived, but now they have even more questions. With the immediate threat gone, the crew regroups. Anders, the science officer, explains her theory. The alien substance they found is a sophisticated replicator. It can copy organic matter, which explains the creature. This means the entire ship could be contaminated with a life form they don't understand. Anders and Cooper become more suspicious of Williams, believing he knows more about the alien substance than he's admitting. They come up with a risky plan to drug him so they can get access to his private files and uncover the truth about his secret communications and the mission itself. The science team decides to run an experiment on the alien substance, trying to freeze it with liquid oxygen. However, the procedure goes horribly wrong, causing a rupture and a massive fire in the fuel junction. Anders gets trapped in the lab as it fills with fire and freezing liquid. Williams, who was drugged by Cooper and Anders, appears in the middle of the fire, acting erratically. He stumbles into the flames and appears to be burned alive, dying in front of the crew who are watching on the security cameras. His shocking death adds another layer of tragedy and mystery to their situation. Just when they think things can't get any weirder, Williams walks back into the room, completely unharmed and with no memory of dying in a fire. The crew is terrified and confused, and they decide to lock him up, believing he's been replaced by an alien mimic that has taken his form. The crew gets another alert. The ship's oxygen systems are failing. They check the cameras and see that the hydroponics bay, where the ship's plants produce air, has been completely taken over by the alien growth. Even worse, they see figures moving in the dark, more alien mimics. With their air running out, Young and Kernan have no choice but to go into the infested hydroponics bay to try and restart the oxygen scrubbers. They have to fight their way through the overgrown jungle of alien goo and dodge attacks from mimics that look just like their dead or missing crewmates. After a terrifying fight, they make it back to the bridge, but the paranoia is at an all-time high. No one knows who to trust anymore, since the mimics can look like anyone. They realize the only way to be sure someone is human is to use a biometric scanner located outside the bridge. The situation escalates into a tense standoff when two identical versions of Elay appear. Stafford, now the commander, is forced to make an impossible choice. He guesses wrong, and the mimic kills him. The crew is now without a leader, and the mimics have proven they can outsmart them. The remaining survivors are trapped in the bridge, completely devastated. Their commander is dead, they're running out of air, and they're surrounded by perfect copies of themselves that want to kill them. All hope seems lost, and Young feels the crushing weight of having to lead them. Just as they're about to give up, they spot something outside the window. A small drone from a previous, uncrewed probe mission called Cryptus. The drone means there must be a transmitter nearby, which gives them a sliver of hope. It's a long shot, but it's their only chance to contact the outside world. Finding the transmitter presents a moral dilemma. Do they send a distress signal to be rescued, potentially leading the alien life form back to Earth? Or do they send a warning to the Andromeda, telling them to stay away, sacrificing themselves to protect the rest of humanity? A small team ventures outside onto the surface of Tau Ceti F to find the probe. They become the first humans to ever step foot on a planet outside their solar system, a historic moment tainted by the terrifying reality of their situation. They quickly discover that the alien growth covers the planet's surface too. After a difficult journey across the alien landscape, they finally reach the Cryptus probe. This is their moment to decide the fate of their mission and potentially all of humanity. They prepare to send their message, knowing that whatever they choose, their lives will never be the same. When they access the probe's logs, they make a mind-blowing discovery. There are messages from previous versions of themselves, and they see wreckage of other Cassiopeia ships on the planet. They realize they are not the first crew to be here. This has all happened before, multiple times. The probe plays a message from the real version of Young, who is safe back on Earth. She reveals the whole truth. They are all synthetic clones. Their mission is a lie. They are part of a secret experiment to study the alien, sent in repeating cycles. The Andromeda isn't coming, another Cassiopeia is. They are shown footage of their original human selves being told the truth about the alien life form and the danger it poses. They see themselves agreeing to the cloning program, sacrificing countless versions of their synthetic selves in the hopes of finding a way to defeat the alien and save humanity. Refusing to accept their fate as disposable lab rats, the crew decides to fight back and break the cycle. They spot the ship's booster ring still in orbit around the planet. It has its own life support, and they realize it could be their escape pod if they can just get to it. Their only way to get to the booster ring is to use the ship's small shuttle, the SUV, but it needs to be refueled. This means they have to go back into the dark, monster-infested Cassiopeia and navigate its dangerous corridors to transfer fuel, all while the ship is falling apart around them. As if things weren't bad enough, while they are trying to refuel the shuttle, the ship's damaged reactor goes into a full meltdown. They are now in a frantic race against time, needing to get the fuel, get to the shuttle, and launch before the entire ship explodes. In a dramatic and chaotic sequence, the remaining crew members manage to get just enough fuel and make it to the shuttle. They launch just seconds before the Cassiopeia is vaporized in a massive explosion. They have escaped the planet, but they are far from safe. The final scene reveals the chilling truth of their escape. A new Cassiopeia arrives at Tau Ceti F, and a fresh set of clones is woken up to begin the cycle all over again. A debriefing explains that the previous crew, Cycle 13, was a significant milestone and provided valuable data. The survivors are left stranded in orbit, their sacrifice paving the way for the next experiment. Gaming lore is long and confusing, but I break it down every week. Subscribe so you never miss a plot twist or hidden detail. Thanks for watching.